then definitely my information was hearsay.
Good morning, good morning, good morning everyone. Ayan, so dito po natin malalaman talaga kung ano nga ba ang estratehiya na ginagawa ng prosecution. Ayan, so obviously mga kaibigan, ang ginagawa ng prosecution panel ay paingayin ang issue tungkol sa impeachment na ito. Paingayin yung mga speculations, paingayin po yung mga ibinibintang nila kay VP Sara Duterte. Okay? At ito po, no, makikita natin, mararamdaman natin at mahahalata natin kung nakikinig nga ba kayo talaga sa impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte. And it's very obvious, no, sa dalawang magkasunod na testigo, no, na iniharap ng prosecution, no. And sa loob po ng 5 araw, no, at ngayon po ang ika-6 na araw po ng impeachment trial for this week, no, ay makikita natin kung paano sumasablay at paano sumablay ang mga witnesses. Okay? Ang gagaling po nilang sumagot kapag ang abogadong nagtatanong sa kanila ay ang kanilang abogado, no? Ang abogado po ng prosecution. But then, kapag ang mga testigo po ay humarap na sa cross-examination, dito na po sila pumapalpak. At dahil sa takot ng prosecution na mapangatluhan, no, ang mga pangyayaring ito na naobserbahan ng maraming Pilipinong nanonood at sumusubaybay sa Senate of the Philippines YouTube channel and Facebook account, natakot na ang abogado ng prosecution. Okay? Ito po, si Attorney Lorna Capunan, okay, ay winidraw na po niya yung kanilang pagpapaharap, no, at pag-imbita kay Attorney Zulaika Lopez at Bello na hindi na raw nila ito isasalang sa witness stand. Okay? So, ano kaya ang mangyayari ngayong araw na ito, Miyerkules po, no? Okay. So, mga kaibigan, tandaan po natin na sa isang kaso, hindi po paramihan ng papel, hindi po paramihan ng dokumento. Ang sinusukat po sa lahat ng kaso ay ang bigat ng mga kasalanan, bigat ng pagkakamali kung mayroon man. Hindi po ang pakapala ng papel o reklamo. At dito po papapansin si Attorney Lorna Capunan, okay, na ang kanyang banat talaga ay binanggit talaga niya kung ilan ang mga ebidensya na kanilang ipinakita, ebidensya na kanilang iniharap, no, for the past 5 days of impeachment trial. Sa dami po ng kanyang binanggit, mga kaibigan, lahat naman po sumablay pagdating po sa cross-examination. Lalo po kahapon, ang dami pong sablay ni Attorney Jeremy Lotok. Ayan. So, eto na naman po, sumasablay na naman. At ang nakakatawa nito, si Attorney Lorna Capunan, Diyos ko po, abogada, pero bobo pagdating sa English. Saan ka nakakita? Hearsay na naman. Doon mismo sa Senado, hearsay. My God, ano ba nangyayari sa ating bansa? Sa mismong Senado siya ha, hearsay talaga siya ha. So, eto guys, pakinggan natin at panoorin. Alright? So, there you go.
To recognize the counsel for the panel of prosecutors, Attorney Lorna Pataho Capunan, Your Honor.
Attorney Capunan, counsel for the prosecutors is recognized. What do you have for us, ma'am?
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Attorney Lorna Pataho Capunan, counsel for the prosecutors. Under the control and supervision of the House Panel of Prosecutors. If I may, Your Honors,
Please proceed.
I can see Senator Panfilo Lacson coming in at narinig ko po yung kanyang interview nung sinabi po niya na baka magkaapo na tayo dito at magkaroon na ng national bird, hindi pa tapos ang impeachment trial na to. We have seen, this is,
Ma'am, you said national bird.
Hearsay.
hindi po ba, Senator Lacson? Well, somebody who interviewed you said that you said that.
It must be another senator, judge, or another person.
Talking about birds, okay.
Please proceed, ma'am.
I never talked about birds.
Then definitely my information was hearsay. Somebody who interviewed you said that you said that.
It must be another senator, judge, or another person.
Talking about birds, okay.
Please proceed, ma'am.
I never talked about birds.
Then definitely my information was hearsay. In any
Wow.
event, in the last 4 trial days, we have had several hours of legal calisthenics, direct examination, cross-examination, and today we also had redirect and recross. A total of approximately 8 hours a day and 2 witnesses. Today we are supposed to hear a subpoenaed witness, Attorney Sulaika Lopez. And after her, another witness subpoenaed or called to appear here, Captain Belinda Bello. After hearing the 2 competent and credible witnesses, not expert witness, but through their credentials showed that they were competent to testify on the matters that they were asked to authenticate. After evaluating through these 2 witnesses 19 documentary evidence from Agent Kalilong and 45 documentary evidence from our recent witness, Attorney Lotok. And after the very clarificatory and probing questions of our senator judges, after evaluation, and not only during this 5-minute hurdle, pero hurdle na rin po yun.
Ano daw?
It is the wisdom of the public prosecutors as expressed through this representation that we find it totally unnecessary, redundant, and a surplusage to still present Attorney Sulaika Lopez and as well Captain Belinda Bello. Let me just state for the record the reasons why. Had we been able to present Attorney Sulaika Lopez, she would have proven 3 things, or we would want to have proven 3 things. First, that she was personally present inside that detention center when the Vice President uttered the video Exhibit P-4-10 when she uttered the statements that she had contracted, that she had already contracted a killer, and you have heard this already before, and so on, to kill the President, the First Lady, and the Speaker of the House. That would have been the first offer of testimony, that she was personally present inside that detention center when the Vice President uttered those statements. Admitted already, admitted by no less than Attorney Vinluan here, who in his closing remarks or opening remarks mentioned more than 10 times that that press conference occurred. Attorney Sulueta and the Vice President was there, and that in that press conference or a live broadcast, the Vice President did utter the statements we have heard time and again. Exhibit P-4-10. Although Attorney Vinluan says yes, 10 times, I counted just now. I counted that the admission there as to the utterance was made 10 times. Although Attorney Vinluan did say that it is a matter of interpretation, he says that the Vice President did not act as Vice President when she made those utterances. He attempted to give a humane picture to the Vice President that she had reacted as mother, sister, brother? No. And that she was not reacting in her capacity as Vice President. But in that statement that Attorney Vinluan mentioned, there was admission as to the utterances being made more than 10 times. He said, our interpretation is wrong, but again, that is left to the discretion of this court. So that was the first offer. The fact that there were utterances made in a press conference and that Attorney Sulhueca was president. No need to present Attorney Lopez for this purpose. Secondly, our second purpose was that Attorney Sulhueca Lopez was not only present, but so were other media personnel present there who heard the utterances of the Vice President. And lastly, we would have offered Attorney Sulhueca Lopez to Zulaika Lopez to confirm the authenticity and the provenance of that video. Exhibit P-4-10. Totally unnecessary. Because, why? Because the defense themselves used the very same video, said exhibit, in their defense when they showed Attorney Sulhueca crying and allegedly complaining about the violation of our human rights. So by their own admission, there is no question about this video. And so it is our contention, and we hereby manifest that with these admissions on file, and thank you to the senator judges for the clarificatory questions propounded, and I'd specifically like to say thank you to Senator Tito Sen, Vicente Soto, for in his brief statement, by virtue of clarificatory, brought us back to what this trial is all about. We are not a criminal court, and much time has been spent. Is there grave threats? Is there inciting to sedition? All of this is relevant. But in the context of, is it by doing these grave threats and by inciting to sedition, does it make the Vice President a violator of the Constitution? Does it make her a violator of her solemn oath of office? Is this a high crime? Is this betrayal of public trust? That is what this impeachment is all about. It is not what Attorney Binluan says. If it is grave threats, by all means, we admit. Prison correctional, 6 months to 6 years. And that's a fine of 2,000 pesos. If it is sedition, the same. MTC should be trying these crimes, or the RTC. But that's not what this is all about.
Attorney Kapunan,
Okay.
with your indulgence, kindly
Last sentence.
take up the matter of the presentation of witnesses.
Correct.
Because that is the subject at hand.
So going back to that going back to why we are making this manifestation, we have said, and I have said on behalf of the public prosecutors, Your Honors, that we will no longer be presenting Attorney Sulweka and Sulaika Lopez. And, Your Honors, in addition, because the testimony of Captain Belinda Bello is merely corroborative. She would have been presented only to corroborate the fact that there was a transfer order made in the detention center and that that transfer order had been the subject of the video or press conference of November 23, 2024. And so, Your Honors, we are also no longer going to call as a witness Captain Belinda Bello. With that, Your Honor, I think the reminder of Senator Lacson that the accused, that the respondent is entitled to a speedy trial. The prosecutors would want this to be a reminder to all. We are doing our part. We have reduced trial dates by lessening our presentation on this article by 2 witnesses, Your Honor. And therefore, we would also request that the same be also a reminder to the defense counsels or the counsels for the defense. Your Honor, please, in my 48 years of practice as a private lawyer, and I'm grateful for this chance, I have learned 2 things in litigation. The first thing I have learned is, first, learn when to present and not to present a witness. And second, learn when to stop. And I think that should be our takeaway from this manifestation. We have decided from the evidence presented and from everything in consideration that we will not present these 2 witnesses. And on that note, I will also say we know when to stop. And this is where I stop. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, Counsel.
Ayan, so, yan, okay. So, okay, napakaganda nito mga kaibigan, okay. Dito po natin malalaman, okay, na dito nagkakamali ang prosecution. Ayaw na nilang imbitahan si Attorney Zulaika Lopez at si Bello, no? Ito po yung kasama po doon sa detention cell, okay? When she was still there. Okay, ganito po yan. Ang nakikita ko at nababasa ko dito, okay, so meron silang key takeaway di meron din tayong key takeaway bilang mga audience. Sa dalawang testigo ng prosecution na kumbaga inumpisahan na ni NBI Senior Agent John Mark Calilong at pinangalawahan po no ni NBI Director ng BARM, okay? NBI Director ng BARM na si Attorney Jeremy Lotok. Dalawang sablay yung kanilang ipinakita. Dalawang pagkakamali. dalawang mali doon sa kanilang side. Dahil dito, hindi nila nagawang patunayan at hindi nila nabigyan ng justice yung kanilang bintang kay BP Sara Duterte na pag siya ay patayin si BBM, si Liza Araneta at si House Speaker Martin Romualdez. Sa salitang ito ni BP Sara Duterte, nais nilang patunayan, nais nilang sabihin at ipakita sa publiko na mayroon na nga bang nilabag si BP Sara Duterte. At ito po ay grave threats. Okay? Dahil dyan mga kaibigan, kahapon ay pinanood ko, pinakinggan ko ang ikalimang impeachment trial. At sa punto po na sinabi ni Tito Sotto, ang grave threats, ang inciting to sedition ay mga kaso, mga totoong kaso na ipina-file sa regular court at hindi sa impeachment court. Ibig sabihin, sa madaling salita, nais ipahayag ni Senator Tito Sotto na hindi dapat inilagay, isinama sa impeachment complaint ang mga bagay na katulad po ng grave threats at inciting to sedition. Ito po ay mga krimen, mga crime na hindi po tinatakel o hindi po kasama sa articles of impeachment. Ang mga kasong ito ay mga legal, mga legitimate na mga kaso na ipina-file sa regular court. Yun po ang ibig sabihin dito ni Senator Judge Tito Sotto. Okay, kaya intindihin po ninyong mabuti, no? Hindi po yung kinig lang ng kinig tapos ilalabas sa tenga. Hindi po natin sinasabi na yung grave threats at yung inciting to sedition ay hindi kasalanan, no? Mag-file po kayo outside the impeachment court. Mag-file kayo sa korte, regular court po ito. Yan po yung paulit-ulit kong sinasabi sa aking video. Napansin ninyo kanina mga kaibigan, habang nagsasalita po si Attorney Lorna Kapunan, binanggit niya yung contracted a killer. Kaya balikan natin yung salita ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Yung isang salita lamang, yung isang salita lamang. May nakausap na ako na tao. May narinig ba kayong may kontrata na sila? May narinig ba kayo na nagpirmahan na kami ng kontrata? May nabanggit ba itong si BP Sara Duterte na killer yung kanyang kausap? May nabanggit ba si BP Sara Duterte na assassin yung kanyang nakausap? Wala. Ang nabanggit po ni BP Sara, may nakausap na ako na tao. Ibig sabihin, tao po yung kanyang nakausap. And it's part of the burden of proof, no, is dapat nasa prosecution. Dapat meron silang ebidensya. Dapat ang ipinakita nila sa korte, dapat ang ipinakita nila sa impeachment court na ito ay patunayan na yung tao na yun ay isang killer. Patunayan na yung tao na yun ay isang assassin. Patunayan na yung pagkausap ay mayroong kalakip na agreement, kontrata. No? Dapat yun po yung ine-expect natin. Sapagkat yung salitang may kinausap ay hindi po ibig sabihin kontrata na kaagad. No? Hindi po. Ibig sabihin po ng may nakausap, meron lamang po siyang kinausap. And yung tao na kanyang kinausap ay hindi po necessarily killer. Hindi po necessarily an assassin. Yan po ay burden of proof na dapat gawin ng prosecution. Okay? Uulitin ko po yung aking sinabi. May nakausap na ako na tao. Nakausap is iba po sa pagkakaroon ng kontrata. May nakausap ay iba po sa pagkakaroon po ng agreement. Tao ay iba po sa killer. Tao ay iba po sa assassin. Hindi po natin alam kung yung tao na bang nakausap ni VP Sara Duterte ay isang killer nga ba talaga yun? Or an assassin? Baka naman yung tao na yun ay ordinaryong tao lamang. At sa kabuuan, may nakausap na ako na tao. Sa mga pangyayari po doon sa mga nakaraang araw, bago po ang press conference, nakita natin kung paano nila ginipit, kung paano nila ginalit si VP Sara Duterte. Ang mga pagbabanta sa buhay ni VP Sara Duterte, kaya nga po narinig ang salitang Operation Romanov at nabanggit nga po ito sa video ni Princess Maui. Bago po ang mga pangyayaring ito, natunghayan natin mga kaibigan kung paano nag-umpisa ang galit ni VP Sara Duterte. When the Congresswoman Franz Castro cited in contempt si Attorney Zulaika Lopez. Dahil hindi lamang po nagustuhan at naintindihan ni Franz Castro yung sagot ni Attorney Zulaika Lopez, ay na-cite in contempt po ang kawawang Chief of Staff ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Dahil dyan, ikinulong po. Madaling araw mga kaibigan, this oras ng gabi, natutulog ang maraming Pilipino, natutulog ang mga bantay. Tinangkang dalhin sa Women's Correctional si Attorney Zulaika Lopez. Alam naman po natin na ang Women's Correctional ay bilangguan, kulungan po ng mga babaeng nagkasala, nahatulan. Mayroon pong mga guilty na mga desisyon. Kaya sila nandoroon. And Attorney Zulaika Lopez has no any other cases filed against her. Wala rin pong mga verdict. Wala rin pong mga desisyon. Therefore, hindi po convicted si Attorney Zulaika Lopez. And there is no reason for her to be placed there, to transfer there. Dahil sa this oras ng gabi mga kaibigan, tinangka po siyang dalhin. At dahil po dito, kahit sino po matatakot, kahit sino kakabahan. Dahil any time of the day kapag nandoon na po sa correctional, hindi natin alam, baka doon ay patayin nila si Attorney Zulaika Lopez. And so the Chief of Staff of the Vice President Sara Duterte, nanganib yung kanyang buhay. Dinala po siya at sinubukang dalhin po sa ospital. And napanood naman po natin kung paano po ginawa ni VP Sara Duterte ang lahat to save and to help yung kanyang Chief of Staff na nanganganib ang buhay. Kailangang madala ka agad-agad sa ospital. Pero ano pong ginawa ng mga opisyal? Tinangka pa po nilang isara yung mobile, yung ambulance na muntikan pong maipit si VP Sara Duterte. Panoorin nyo po yun, i-research nyo po yun. Nanganganib yung buhay ng tao, tapos pipigilan po na isara yung ambulance para madala ka agad sa ospital. At nung nakasakay na mga kaibigan, hindi po pinapalabas yung ambulance. Hindi po pinapapasok yung ambulance, rather. Alam niyo po yun, yung hindi po talaga nila, kumbaga hindi nila gagawin yung lahat para i-save yung tao. Nahirapan pong pumasok yung ambulansya para sunduin at dalhin kaagad itong si Attorney Zulaika Lopez. So, yun po yung pinakang ugat ng mga pangyayari. That's why there is a press conference. So, yun po, no? Mahirap pong mag-isip, maging paranoid. At itong prosecution na ito ay paranoid po. Binigyan na po nila ng kahulugan yung sinabi ni VP Sara Duterte na may nakausap na ako na tao. Yun pa lang sa word na yun, ang dami na nilang naisip. Yung tao, kesyo killer, yung tao, kesyo assassin. Yung nakausap, binigyan na nila ng kahulugan, kesyo merong kontrata, kesyo merong agreement. 'Di ba? It's very clear. It's very clear na hindi po pwedeng gamitin ang video na ito against the Vice President Sara Duterte hanggat hindi mo pinag-aaralan ang konteksto ng buo ang video na ito. Kaya nga sumablay itong si Attorney Jeremy Lotok dahil yung kanyang video na pinag-aralan lamang ay yung salita lamang na yun. Huwag kang mag-alala, ma'am. Kapag may nakausap na ako na tao, kapag ako ay pinatay, patayin mo si PBBM, si Liza Araneta, at si House Speaker Martin Romualdez. Yun lang po yung salitang yun ang inanalyze, pinag-aralan ng mga testigo ng prosecution. Doon po nakapokus si John Mark Cadilong. Doon din po nakapokus ang ibang NBI investigator. At doon din po nakapokus si Attorney Jeremy Lotok. 'Di ba obviously, hindi alam ni Jeremy Lotok ang mga pangyayari. Nakakahiya. Pangalawa, kung napanood ninyo yung interpellation, yung mga tanong po ni ni Senator Judge Robin Hood Padilla, binanggit niya na sandamakmak ang kaso ni Jeremy Lotok. Napaisip ako tuloy, ito ba ay palit kaso? 'Di ba? Alisin yung kaso laban sa kanya, idiin lamang niya si VP Sara Duterte. And si Jeremy Lotok ay taga-Tacloban. Ito po ay lugar ni Martin Romualdez. At dadalhin siya sa Mindanao. Doon siya na-assign. Hindi ba ito ay plano talaga? Saan ka nakakita? Taga-Tacloban, dadalhin ka sa Mindanao. Oh. At ito pa yung pinakamatindi. Ilang beses na promote itong si Attorney Jeremy Lotok. Ayon kay Senator Judge Robin Hood Padilla. So obviously, itong si Jeremy Lotok ay pakawala para matanggal, maalis yung kaso laban sa kanya. Kinakailangan niyang magsalita laban kay Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte Carpio. So kung kayo ang tatanungin mga kaibigan sa inyong napanood, okay pa ba sa inyo na ituloy ang impeachment trial o tapusin na ito? It's a waste of time. Natatawa ako kay Attorney Lorna Kapunan. Doon pa talaga siya nagkalat sa Senado. No, doon pa talaga siya nagkalat sa Senate Impeachment Court. Saan ka nakakita yung huddle naging hurdles? Diyos ko po, attorney ka pa naman. Nakakahiya. Doon ka na lang po sa face to face, harapin mo. Pinagmayabang pa niya, more than 40 years siyang abogado at involved sa litigation. Diyos ko po, ano po yung mga kaso na hinawakan mo? Mga kaso po ng mag-asawa yan. Mga kaso po yan ng mga mag-asawa na nag-aaway-away after their separation. Doon ka po expert, Attorney Lorna Kapunan. Huwag ka na po dyan sa impeachment na yan. Nagkakalat ka lang. Okay? I'm not saying na hindi po siya eksperto. Eksperto po si Attorney Lorna Kapunan pagdating po sa away mag-asawa. Pero po pagdating sa impeachment, kagaya po nitong mga krimen na binabanggit dito, hindi po siya expert. So, yun lang. Good morning.